of smallholder farmers into the formal financial sector through the simple means of connection. Through leveraging Android and SMS, the mobile phone application allows farmers to track their revenues and expenses as well as apply for loans. And now to that story around the clearing and forwarding agents, and over 1,200 clearing and forwarding companies have declared they will not collect taxes on behalf of the Kenya Revenue Authority, citing mistreatment and frustration by the government agency. Members drawn from the Kenya International Freight and Warehousing Association today told the press they will not lodge or register any new custom entries through the Simba system, even as they protest KRA's move to delay in renewing licenses. This is set to lead to a major paralysis at the port of Mombasa, as cargo coming into the country will not be cleared, thus leaving importers to incur huge demurrage costs. The association's chair, William Ojonyo, noted that KRA had reneged on its mandate to renew licenses issued to the clearing agents. It is estimated that the go-slow could see KRA lose close to 3 billion shillings per day.
Because whereas they're not giving us the licenses, they want us to continue helping them to collect taxes. Our plea, in fact, today is, can they shut out all the licenses that do not have, all the passwords of people who do not have licenses? That will now clearly show you who is running away from responsibility here. That is our plea. In fact, that would be our resolution today, that we are ready and we are urging them to shut down all passwords for as long as we don't have licenses. KRA is trying to pass the buck. For mismanagement, they want to pass the buck to these people who they think are the easier target. We also think that they're colluding with a few individuals to try and push the SMEs out of business so that they can have a bigger market. I know for a fact that with the SGR coming in, which means better organized rail cargo to Nairobi and to other environs, people who are selfish are angling themselves to push the hard workers out and get it all notion to them. So our suspicion is 80% right, that it can only be abnormal that after you pay for your license, you are not issued with your license.
Well, that is William Ojonyo, and he joins us now live in studio to expand on this developing story. Many thanks, William. Of course, many are asking, is there sufficient dialogue between KIFWA and KRA, and why have we got to this point where we are today?
Yeah, thank you. And probably what I need to clarify is, as members of Kenya International Freight Warehousing Association, which is the only body that houses clearing and forwarding agents in Kenya, we presently do not have officials, bona fide officials, sitting there because of a court order. So what we are doing is coming together as members of KIFWA to voice our concern because of the lacuna that is already there. Mm-hmm. And yes, we have asked for dialogue. We have done letters as industry to request the authority to come on the table and explain to us why we do not have our licenses up to now.
So ideally, the licenses should have been issued by 1st of January. And as of today, it simply means you are operating illegally.
True. I mean, that can't have been far from the truth. Our licenses have a life of 12 months. That's between January and the 31st of December. And the fact that we're already doing February and we do not even know how far the processing has gone, it is an illegality in itself. Mm-hmm. And that only points out to somebody running away from what is expected of him.
But Mr. William, let me just put you to task a bit. And under the new dispensation, the clearing and forwarding task has been digitized, and people will no longer require the middleman, that is the clearing and forwarding agents. So some quarters are saying this is uncalled for by your association, it is baseless, and we basically are trying to get into an issue that was cleared last year.
I think what is important for us to understand is that clearing agents are actually a child of the Act. You do not become a clearing agent just like that. Section 145, and I think more specifically the regulations 2010, section 145 and 149 are very clear that you must be given a license to operate as an agent. And you cannot be an agent without getting the mandate from Customs, the Commission of Customs and Border Control. So we are not middlemen, we are customs agents. We are not brokers. We are people who have gone through what I would call tests. We have been vetted, and we have licenses, for lack of a better word. We are supposed to be professionals.
Mm-hmm. So why the recent change of heart by KRA if you've been doing this job of clearing and forwarding for the last, I don't know how many years? What has changed that the licenses this time have been delayed?
I think that's the big question. What has changed? And we have been making noise. We have been asking KRA, why are we not getting our licenses? And if you'll allow me to speculate, it only points to an abnormality, because this is the only time since I began doing clearing and forwarding more than 10 years ago that we have not had our licenses renewed. And by the way, we are not looking for new licenses. We already have licenses. We only want the licenses renewed. We normally have a span of 1 year to get our licenses. What is more worrying is the fact that, listen, the same authority has allowed multinationals to have a 3-year license, meaning as we continue to complain about our renewal, there are companies that are operating at the expense of the small companies. So we are only asking for what is expected of them. We are only asking for what is usually done. Why this year has turned out to be different.
Looking at this procedure of getting the licenses, what has it now led to in terms of how has it hampered your services? How much are you losing as entities that are in this business?
I think what is more important is what is illegal about it. Remember, our licenses ran for 12 months. So our licenses lapsed on the 31st of December. What we are doing now is an illegality. We have passwords that are operating. But remember, licenses give birth to the passwords. Passwords do not give birth to the licenses. So what's happening now is that we have licenses, we have passwords, and we do not have the licenses. If anything happened today, then we would be taken to court for operating without a duly recognized license. Beyond that, remember that what we do in this country, in my view, and in the view of many Kenyans who are watching today, is a clear duty of tax collection on behalf of the tax collector, the taxman. And we move a lot of cargo. Let me tell you, out of the 1 million TEUs that are moved at the port of Mombasa, none, not a single one can move without the services of a clearing agent. Now imagine that you are doing that without a license. The authority that is supposed to oversee that is supposed to supervise that, is in itself sleeping on the job. They're not explaining why we don't have the licenses. And today our worry is they can wake up one morning and say, Chief, you've been acting illegally, we're not giving you licenses. And we are thinking, rumors has it, that they only want to license 200 multinational companies at the expense of 1,350 companies. We can only get worried.
So what's the way forward?
We hope that with this ultimatum, because what I said and what I continue to say is that, can we agree if there is anything to be done, because people are out there saying, can we vet the agents? We are ready to be vetted. But before you vet us, can you vet yourself first? Can we look at KRA and ask them questions in the eye? What is right with you that should be right with us, or what is wrong with us that could be wrong with you? Because remember again, we don't verify cargo on our own. We co-verify cargo with the taxman. Anything that is reached is a decision of the taxman. Goods are released by the taxman. So the taxman cannot wake up one morning and say, agents are wrong and we are right. Let's look at them in the eye and ask them, can you go and make your house in order? Can you make sure you are clean, then come to us and vet us? We are ready to be vetted, but don't keep us waiting, because that in itself is unconstitutional. Okay.
So in essence, if KRA does not respond?
We only have one option. We want to take our plea to Parliament tomorrow. We want the committees that are in line with what we do. I'm looking at the Committee on Finance.
All right.
I'm looking at the Committee on Trade and Investment. we will give them our petition. And hopefully, they are overseers of what we do every day in this country. They will come to our rescue. Should nothing happen, then of course we have no option but to head to court. Although that would be our last option. We wish we would talk about it, discuss about it, and move this country forward. This is going to be detrimental.
All right. Many thanks there, William Ojonyo, who is the chairman of the Kenya International Freight Forwarders Association, just talking to us on the go-slow that they have taken up since today, demanding that the Kenya Revenue Authority needs to renew their licenses. We are yet to hear from KRA on what's their stand on this developing story.
Can I clarify something?
And we're sorry out of time, but
for the chairman, because like I said, we have a court order, and what I'm doing is to represent members on this. You know, if I call myself chairman and there's a court order that is barring anybody.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, tomorrow, Tuesday, the 14th of February 2017, will be Valentine's Day. And as usual, lovers will exchange flowers and gifts.